So I think we were like part 7 or so of my Battletech battle group build. And I've been pushing those vlogs up to the Battletech playlist and the Battletech build playlist here on my channel. And there was some interesting comments and feedback. One of them was essentially a long-range punch, a long-range list. That's a lot of potency. But if things get closer, what's the counter punch to that? I mean, some bulldogs, some short-range missile carriers. Short-range missile carriers are a lot of fun, but they're hit or miss, right? There's no room for any mistakes because their range is so short and the armor so non-existent. So within that framework, infantry, and ways I'm going to utilize infantry. But this kind of excellent questions, this kind of sidebarred to various themes in building your list. That there's multiple ways to build lists. And we're looking at Battletech right now, but this can play out almost in any type of war game. So, and I almost didn't realize what I was doing here, which I guess makes sense because a lot of my wargaming stuff is on autopilot after all these years, and I try and consciously break it out. Hopefully give you guys some tools that you can utilize and ideally make better. Ideally take whatever tactica that I'm playing around with, agree, disagree, strip it down, pull it apart, rebuild it, and turn it into something that's not only your own, but something that if we're able to roll dice on the table together, you can just absolutely obliterate me and show me no mercy. If that happens, my contribution to the wargaming community is complete. So in terms of list building, one of the things that I looked at was you might want to play certain models for whatever reason. You've got a faction, you've got an idea, you've got a vision. One of my Warhammer 40,000 armies, my Space Elves, Way of Samhan, jet bikes, Vipers, hovercraft, battle tanks, skimmers, all this type of stuff. I don't care how the units play. I mean, over the years I've been playing this army, they were really okay, they were really bad, then they got kind of good, then GW laid the smackdown, and now as we're going into 10th edition 40K, who the heck even knows what they'll look like? I didn't care, really. I mean, yes, I want to win. I came up with Tactica. I really made a name for myself many years ago playing them, but I was in love with the visuals and the narrative of it. That's one way to build a list, but you have to know what you're getting into. The second way is to look at your models, to look at your collection, and this is where it really works well with Battletech, and to say, well, let's have a theme, and then based on this theme, I can pull in a Tactica theme. Let's have a Tactica theme, and then pull in units to complement that. So you can have a very large collection and utilize the same units in different ways. And the build that I'm playing with this list, now I pushed up to the Wargaming Tactics playlist on my channel here, a number of vlogs in there, that the focus wasn't on specific systems, although we do talk about systems, but the idea was to look at, there's this wargaming thing. You've got miniatures, you've got dice, you've got battle effects, you've got different units. How can we look at it from a very high level, top level, so we can take these tactics and port them over to any game? So if you're playing Battletech, you could do it. If you're playing 40K, here you go. If you're playing X-Wing miniatures, this is how you do it. And I talked about different list builds in there, different list concepts, attack, support, and defense. If you go to the main page of my YouTube channel here, new subscribers see that this attack, defense, support type list. There's a hero hammer type list. There's a wolf pack type list. These are concepts that you can utilize. And this Battletech build, the concept that I'm utilizing is an overload list. An overload list is where every game has some sort of currency, some sort of force organization, battle value, tonnage, C-bills. If you're building a 2,000 battle value Battletech list, and I can't show up with like 10K battle value, unless that's the mission, I'm going to destroy you. If I'm playing historicals, the battle value is set by, well, what was the historical mission at the time? How many legions were there? Where was the different attack, right? Might be squadron points, might be credits, might be power points. Every wargaming system has some sort of currency to build out your list. So an overload list is where you take all of that currency, all of it, most of it, 90% of it, whatever it's going to be, and you take all those chips and you put them down on a single number. You excel in one area. So you look at the different phases of the game. Maybe you've got a shooting phase. Maybe you've got a movement phase. Maybe you've got a magic phase. Maybe you have a support phase, and you buy all your units that do everything for that phase. You pour all your points in there, so it becomes so powerful, there's no way your opponent can counter it. You just overload them in that one phase. Now, you got to be ready for that, and you have to have a definite plan of how that's going to work, because you don't have many counters for the other phases of the game or the other things that you bring. An example would be my Warhammer 40K Samhan Warhost, Space Elf Warhost. All of my points went into fast-moving units. Everything is jacked up, mech'd up, speeding up. I am so fast on the table. I'm super fast. If you corner me, though, I've got nowhere to go. If you're able to corner me or able to catch me, I'm in a lot of trouble. But I would use that speed to be in the right place at the right time, hit a unit, destroy it, fade away, move, outflank up one side of the table, you deploy over to there, I zoom to the other side, take on weaker units. All of the points went into that. This Battletech build, and again, you can follow it on the Battletech build playlist on my channel, I'm sinking all my points. Now, I'm delivering it through tanks, but I'm sinking all of my battle value, 85% of it or so, into long-range destruction, PPCs, long-range missiles, carriers, battle tanks, mechs. Even the mechs themselves all have PPCs or large lasers, right? Looking for long range where I'm just going to obliterate you from a distance. I'm taking most of that battle value and putting it in there. Now, I do have a little bit in the pocket reserved for short range counters, because I'm going to do my best to keep you at range, but if you do close or if you do suddenly appear, I do need a counter for that. But this is a great example of having a collection of miniatures and coming up with these various builds, these various lists. And I've pushed those up to the channel under the playlist, Wargaming Tactics. You can play the same miniatures, but utilize them in different roles. You can have this Tactica play out the same way, but play out in different roles, different things to explore. So it was an excellent question. Excellent question. Lots of ways to build a list and to utilize your miniature collection, whatever that system is going to be.